Hi, friends. Hello, hello. As promised, I'm going live here. It's noon on Thursday. We just got back, Amanda and I, from the Dominican, and our DMs have been blowing up with people asking us about our upcoming surgery. Let's see. I see Amanda watching. She's got a request to go live. So everybody's been asking us so many questions about our upcoming surgery. We've been talking about this for over We've been talking about this for over almost a year now, and some people are just like not aware that we are having surgery. So we wanted just to go on here and answer all of your guys' questions. Oh, here we go. Request. Approve. Hi, Melissa. Hello.
Hey, I didn't know if one of us needed headphones.
Oh, I forgot. Do you have headphones?
I can't. They're packed.
Mine too.
Okay, mine said it sounds good. Okay, Melissa, you're watching. Are we echoing? Does it sound okay? Hello. Sweet, we got some people on here.
Right.
We'll just go until somebody says something.
Okay, I have my backpack over here, and so I've got them easily accessible if I need them. But I was just letting everybody know, we just, like, Amanda and I just got back from the Dominican Republic. I got back on Monday, Amanda got back on Tuesday, and we are flying out on this next Monday, this upcoming Monday, and Amanda, Nemesia, and I are all getting surgery. Amanda and I are getting surgery on Wednesday. We actually got surgery scheduled for the exact same day. And then Nemesia is doing hers on Thursday, the next day. So we have gotten a lot of questions asked to us, so we wanted just to kind of open it up. If you guys know Amanda and I, like, we are open books. Nothing is ever off the table for us. Like, you can ask us anything. So we had a couple of questions that were DM'd to us. So I'm going to ask those. And then if you guys have a question, drop them in the comments. So the first thing I'm going to ask is, what are you doing? What are you having done, Amanda? What is happening with you on Wednesday?
Okay, so me personally, I had the gastric sleeve and I am down 94 pounds and I have a lot of loose skin. So I am super excited about this. However, my tits have deflated and inside out and hang down to my belly button. So I would like to pick these suckers up. So I am going to get a lift. I am also going to get an implant because I want the high profile perkiness. I'm a little bit nervous about the implant illness, but I'm willing to take my chance because I really love my boobs and I want the perfect boobs. So also, I am going to be getting chin lipo. So I'm going to be getting the extra fat sucked out of my chin, and I'm going to be getting what is called Lipo 360. So they will be taking from my armpits, my upper and lower back, and my sides. They do stay away from my stomach because I'm getting a tummy tuck. It can cause neurosis. I don't know what it's called. Neurosis, something where the skin dies. So Lipo 360. I'm also getting a circular tummy tuck. Okay, so there's 3 types of tummy tucks. You can get just a regular tummy tuck, the extended, or the circular. Because I'm a weight loss patient and I have so much loose skin, they will be cutting completely around my body, the whole entire circle, and lifting it all up. So that will perk up my boobs and pull down the rolls on my back, or perk up my butt and pull down my back and all those things. And then this is the exciting part, okay, guys? So I also have no butt. I have no butt at all, and I am getting what is called a Brazilian butt lift. So they're going to suck the fat out of me, and then they are going to fill in my hip dips and give me a little bit of hips because I'm just straight down on the sides. And then I'm going to have them put a little bit in my derriere. I definitely am not going for Nicki Minaj, so I don't know what you guys are thinking about there, but I'm definitely going to have them put a little junk in my trunk because I got nothing going on back there. But yeah, so I'm just going to recap that really quick. I am getting chin lipo, lipo 360, breast lift with implant, and a circular tummy tuck. So I'm getting all those things at once, and I'm super, super excited. What are you getting?
Okay, you guys, for those of you guys that don't know, Amanda was, obviously I know that she is a gastric patient. She had her surgery, she lost all this weight, and she came to me and was just telling me she was going to go get a mommy makeover. And I jokingly made a comment and said, do you think they'll do a BOGO? Like a buy one, get one? And she was like, do you want to do it with me? And I'm like, I don't know, maybe. Like, maybe I do want to do it with you. I don't know. So my wheels got spinning and she started telling me about the doctor that she was looking into, and I started researching and thinking, you know what, I've had two babies. I'm 40 this year. I've been working really hard towards my fitness goals. Like, I know that Amanda and I have completely different body types and completely different stories and completely different reasons why we want to do what we do. But I am also doing what I refer to as a mommy makeover. I don't know if that's like the accurate term for it, but it's just the easiest way to say I'm having elective surgery on my body. So a lot of people are asking me, what am I doing? Like, what is my mommy makeover? And it's going to look so different than Amanda's. I, when I first started talking to Amanda about doing it, about 10 months ago, I only wanted to work on doing my lower half. I feel like I'm very tiny up above and I'm very heavy from my like hip butt area. So I from the get-go wanted to do a thigh and hip like lipo and potentially a BBL as well. So I have a huge booty. Amanda says she has a flat booty. I have a big booty. So if I could give some of my booty to her, I would. So I'm not going for an even bigger butt, you guys. I want it to be lifted and I want it to be rounded, and I just want to feel a little bit more proportioned. So I don't know whether or not my doctor, once I get in person, if he's going to actually do like a BBL, but we are going to round it and lift it and do the thigh lipo. So just randomly, probably about like a month ago, I decided I also wanted to get my breasts done. I'm terrified of the breast implant illness. I've had a lot of friends who have had it. I myself seem to be somebody that like naturally just, I don't know, like I have Hashimoto's, I have a lower immune system. I just feel like if anybody were to get the illness, it would be me. So I am just doing a lift. I'm not doing implants. And that is it for me. So what we are leaving on Monday. We are going to Mexico. So my next question is, why Mexico? People want to know why Mexico. And the first thing that people say is it because it's cheaper? Do you want to answer that?
Absolutely. That is not the reason I'm going to Mexico. Okay. If I wanted cheaper, I would go to Tijuana and I could get it for half the price that I'm getting done, you guys. The reason I'm going to Guadalajara, Mexico is because we found a surgeon who is 12 years certified surgeon, and his work is amazing. So the difference that I would say is here in America, you can get a mommy makeover. It's going to cost you about $36,000, and you are going to get an average mommy makeover. You're going to get the tuck, the nips, the suction, whatever. In Mexico, they contour your body. He will make me look like a Barbie if I want to look like a Barbie. He can shape it. You can take a little bit more fat out in Mexico. So I kind of like that, but he will give me a look that I'm looking for, and it's going to be more of a drastic look than just a nice casual everyday mom look. So I'm super excited for his work. So I've looked at the work here in town, and there's a couple people that we do like, and Nemesia's searched, and there's some really good people that do boobs in like Texas, and I really just want to get it all done at once so I can recover at one time. And the work that he does is just flawless and beautiful and amazing. And he's board certified, and he is one of the more expensive in Mexico. So I'm definitely not going for the cheaper route. I'm going for the sexier body. How about you?
Let me just say that, like, there's nothing cheap or inexpensive about this process. It's so much more than just like the surgery aspect of it. There, like, I myself, like, I hired a coach for the last like 5 months. I've been working on my fitness. I've been working on my eating. There is like all the things that we had to set up for the week that we're going to be up in Mexico. Like, we had to set up a recovery house. We have a chef. We have a driver. We have a nurse that's coming to the hospital with us. On speaking of Mexico, like, I've had a lot of people that, you know, friends that think that they're being friendly and they think that they're being nice, who want to tell us all the horror stories of going to Mexico and all the things that they've heard go wrong. And you guys, we're not dumb. We've done a lot of research. We're three women that are going together. We are taking every precaution. We have somebody picking us up from the airport. We have somebody driving us to the recovery house. We have a nurse that's going to be taking care of us, and we have a nurse that's going to be staying with us while we have a chef that's going to be cooking for us. We have a massage therapist that's going to be coming to us. We're not going to have to travel. Like, we have, you know, taken every precaution. We've taken everything into account. There's all of our aftercare as well. Like, we've had to find massage therapists that we can see for our aftercare, and the recovery itself is, you know, years after the actual surgery. So there's a lot of thought that went into this, a lot of time, a lot of money. You know, yay, hashtag gotta love money, because I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without my income from money. So we'll drop that disclosure in there later. But that brings me into the next question, is how much does it cost and how are you paying for it, my friend?
Okay, so for my whole shkabam, I'm paying Dr. Flavio 13,500. Now my recovery house is $120 a day. Like Nikki said, that comes with our foods. She's going to bathe us. She's going to wash us. She's going to change all our dressing. They're even going to do special diet for Nikki's gluten-free. Included in my house, you guys, is that 24-hour nurse care. Plus, after you have liposuction, it is very, very important that you have lymphatic drain massagers. And so they will have to massage us to get this toxic liquids out of our body. And like Nikki said, that specialist is going to be coming to our place. That's included. That's all included in that price. So I will have to drop about $200 or $300 in medications at the pharmacy. I'm gonna have to pay. I already dropped a good $600 or $800 on a round trip ticket to get there. Plus, I'm going to need money to tip these people. They're going to be waiting on me hand and foot. And as a mom, I do not do well with letting people do extra things for me. So I want to let them know how incredibly grateful I am. So I've got those things, and then just a little bit extra spending money. So totally, let's see, 13, 14, about 17,000 right now. And that's not including when I come home, you guys, the dress, like, we have to wear what's called a faja. You guys are going to get to see that. Those are like $250. We have to get a brand new one at 3 weeks. And then we need two to alter in between. Plus we're going to need a third faja. So fajas alone, we're going to be spending $1,000 in that. Plus we need to get 20 more massages. So we are going to be paying for that. And American massages are a hell of a lot more than Mexican massages. So I can tell you right now, it's probably going to be anywhere around 20,000. Like, it is not cheap. The aftercare is almost as expensive as the surgery, and it's way more important than the surgery. So like Nikki said, we have been studying for 10 months and learning, we actually created a Facebook group and called it Dr. Flavio. And we now have almost 600 girls in there. And not only has this helped us with our journey, but it's helping them with their journey. And everybody can share these stories. And then when something does go with somebody else, we can write down these tips and tricks. And we have literally been studying, sharing, all the things, you guys, but I'm going to say probably a good 20,000. Yeah. How about you, Nikki? What is yours?
So when I first got started with this, again, I just thought I was going to do the lipo of the thighs and the BBL. So I was estimating about $5,000 just for the surgery, and then everything that Amanda's having to pay for, like the round trip ticket, our recovery house. Like, luckily the recovery house comes with the massages, the transportation, the food, the chef, like all of that stuff. And all of that's pretty affordable. With adding in the breasts, I'm up to about $9,000 for my surgery. And then I think altogether probably about 11,000 just for like the 2 weeks that we're going to be up there. But again, that's not to mention, like, we are having to do post-op massages probably for at least 6 months after the surgery. Like, you are getting them several times a week. And then I'm only going to be probably about one a week, but I've got them scheduled out already for like the rest of the year. Our friend Andrea here, she said the hand and stone massage, they do them for $79. I wrote that down because I can't remember. I found a place here in Hillsboro that did them, and since I was booking so many of them, they were giving me 20% off. But I have to go and look. I didn't know that Hand and Stone Massage did that, so good to know, you guys. But yeah, like, the recovery is, it's
No joke.
What'd you say?
I said it's no joke.
It's no joke. Yeah, it's a really long time. And like, we're gonna have to be wearing a faja for what, like 6 months to a year. It's gonna be crazy. And you guys, we have a book, so we are going to document all of this. It's all going to be on my Instagram. I'm not starting a separate Instagram. I'm going to be sharing all of this. It's who I am. It's what I'm going through. So do you have any questions, Amanda? Those were all the questions I had.
Okay, I do have some questions. They want to know, like, how long we're staying there. So you can answer that one.
So we are staying there 12 days total. Since we are flying in there 2 days early just to prevent any sort of like blood clots or anything like that. So we're flying in on Monday. We do have a driver that's picking us up. We will be able to do a pre-op appointment. Since Amanda's doing implants, I'm going to just go with her, and she gets to see the doctor a day earlier than our appointment, so they can pick the size of her implants and all of that stuff. So we are going to tag team that appointment because we're both getting our surgery on the same day. So some of these other places, like Amanda mentioned, that, we could go to Tijuana and those doctors were doing like, I don't know, like 12 surgeries a day. Like, our doctor's doing 2 surgeries a day. So he's doing Amanda's and mine, and that is it on Wednesday. So they told us that we could stay, what was it, 9 to 12 days?
7 to 10 days.
7 to 10 days. Yeah, 7 to 10 days after the surgery. So since we're getting there 2 days early, we opted for something in between that. And we're staying at for 9 days.
Okay. Yes. So we picked the 9 days. So that makes it total 12. We'll be flying home on day 9. A lot of the girls said just stay over a week. I'm probably going to be coming home with drains, which I'm okay with that. I definitely have already planned for that to happen. Let's see. You answered the why Mexico. Okay. Are you nervous or scared?
I'm not yet, which is so weird. You guys, this has been a crazy year for me. I think I have done, what did I say? Like 10 vacations total, and I'm counting surgery as like vacation. So like 9 aside from going to Mexico. Literally, like, nearly every month this year, I have been flying out or going somewhere and doing something for money or doing a family vacation. So I think I mentally haven't allowed myself to really be like nervous about it. But I've been so preoccupied, like I can literally only think about the next thing that's coming up. And since we just got back from the Dominican, now I'm finally in a place like, oh, okay, we've got a week. I packed for surgery right before we went to Dominican, and now I'm sitting here like, all right, it's happening. So I feel like it's gonna probably kick in on the drive, and then once all three of us get together, and then we'll probably like won't sleep the night before and probably cry and be
Right.
anxious. What about
We
you?
actually told Nikki to bring some board games so we can try to distract ourselves. So I am starting to get nervous. I didn't really think I was, but when somebody asked me in the Dominican last week if I was, it kind of like kicked in like, holy shit, yes, I am getting a little bit nervous. And then yesterday, when I just dropped $13,000 and transferred that to my doctor's account, I had a little panic attack in the bank office. I'm like fanning my mask, fanning my shirt. He's like, "Okay, are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm good. I just feel like I can't breathe for a second." And he turned his fan on me, and I took my coat off, and I cooled down. And like, I think that it was just kind of clicking in, like, holy shit, this is real. So like Nikki said, it hasn't really like clicked all the way, but it's definitely building up more and more. Like she said, I definitely have some Xanax for the couple more days before I go. But yeah. So what did you have to do for surgery? That's another question.
Like to prepare for surgery? Oh my
What
gosh.
does your doctor want you to do? Not your prepare yet. That's the next question.
Oh, so we had to do a series of blood tests. So they gave us like a list of what we would take to our doctor to order. And they were like pretty routine stuff. So just like a CBC and checking our iron and just kind of like a complete blood count. And then we did have to do an EKG. So I will tell you guys, my first EKG came back. I don't even want to use the word abnormal. It just like, I almost want to say it's more like inconclusive, but kind of like abnormal. But the guy who did it, I feel like he rushed it. He didn't tell me not to talk. He didn't tell me not to move. So I wasn't surprised that it came back abnormal. But you guys, we had a moment where I was like, we've done 10 months of prep for this. We're now within 30 days of the surgery, and I might not get approved because my doctor was like, you need to cardiologist. And like so I put the ladies through like a huge panic attack, and it was right before Dominican, and I was like, I literally have a week until I have to leave. I'm going to be gone for 10 days, and then I only have a week in between. And so I luckily like researched the hell out of it and found a Zoom care and went to a different doctor and had a repeat EKG and let them know like I was super stressed about it. And the girl took her time, and we like dimmed the lights, and Amanda sent me a song to listen to before the appointment that like calmed me down, and my EKG came back normal. So that is pretty much all we had to do to really prep for it. But it is scary when you do it just 30 days before your surgery, because if anything does come back abnormal, there's not a lot of time to plan for it. And that was our fear.
Yeah. And so also there were just a couple more requirements, which Nikki's so skinny, she probably didn't know, but you have to be under 30 BMI. So that's a thing. And then and then they also want you to prepare with like vitamins and stuff. And then once my labs came back, my one number was just a tiny bit. It's in the range to have surgery, but it was a little bit on the lower side. Also just had my period, so maybe I was lacking blood because of that. But he told me he wanted me to start on some vitamins, so I had to do iron and folic acid, so I stepped that up to also. So now, not doctor requirements, but what did you do health wise to prepare for this, Nikki?
So for me, I got laid off from my job, and I've been working Monday for like the last year and a half. And with trying to hustle for my business, I stopped giving my health a priority. I was eating less than 1,000 calories a day, which is super hard to like admit this to the world, but like I just wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't working out. I wasn't doing any self-development. I was just like, I was in this hustle mentality. And since we started talking about surgery, I just knew that if I stayed the course of where I was at, my recovery was gonna not be good. And so I kind of made the decision myself. This is not a requirement of anybody that wants to go into the surgery, but for where I was at in my life, I did need to hire a coach because I knew I needed to start eating like real food. I needed to figure out how to like keep my body like eating the right nutrition and like figure out how to like work out and like add this into my day. So I personally hired a coach. I learned about food. I got my hormones in check. I got my IUD removed. I did a total gut reset, but I did all this work before the surgery because I wanted to have a speedy recovery. So I just quit working with her right before the Dominican, but now I have like all this knowledge. I know how to eat when I'm recovering. I know how to prepare my food once I get back. I know how to move my body appropriately, kind of all of those things. So that was part of what I did. We also got our BBL Bible, and that kind of was good preparation of what to expect as far as like, oh, you've got it good. Mine's packed. So it's this very thick book that goes over everything that you need to know about like timeline and massages and fahas and acronyms and just kind of like everything that you would need to know. And for me, that was helpful because you guys, we have 3 different personalities here with us ladies. And like Nemisi had already done so much research into a lot of this in advance, and Amanda had looked into it for a really long time. And like, there's so much information out there, and there's so many different Facebook groups. Like for me personally, I was getting overwhelmed because there was a lot of conflicting information. One person would say something, and another person would contradict it, and I just kind of needed like one resource to tell me what to look at and what to do. And so for me, that BBL Bible, that was like super helpful for me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to answer Heather's question really quick. What if I still have drains? Okay. I am still going to have drains. I'm just going to say it. I'm pretty sure I'm going to have drains. So with my procedure, I'm going to have one right above my butt crack and then 2 right in my pelvic line, underwear line, whatever it's called. That back one gets removed, I believe, at 7 days, but the front 2 can stay up to 21 days. And I will be able to fly home. I just need a note from the surgeon saying that I am safe to travel. So I will not be pulling those out to just travel. I want to get as much fluid out of me as possible. And so I will be keeping those drains in until day 21 or till I'm draining less than 50. And I've seen girls pull them out because they're annoying and because they hurt and all these things. And I see the list of complications and all the water they collect, and the water finds somewhere else to come out and splits shit open and does all the things. So I'm going to baby that stuff. Like I said, and Nikki said, we have done a ton of research on this. So that has been super helpful. Now, what I've done to prepare, so I had the gastric sleeve. So my diet, I feel, is going to be pretty fair to what they want. They want it to be a high protein, very clean fat diet. And that's already what I do. I'm just worried about not getting enough protein in. So thank God Monat has protein powder, and I will be making drinks and peanut butter bars and balls and whatever I got to do to get that extra bit of protein in. The hardest part for me is going to be drinking water. I need to drink my body weight in water. And right now I'm only getting about maybe 60 to 100 ounces in. And the more water I drink, the better. But being a gastric sleeve patient, my stomach doesn't really have a lot of room. So I'm literally going to be on the water every day, all the time. I started exercising. I've been walking a lot, but I've started like lifting up some weights because of gastric sleeve. I've lost a lot of muscle. Back in May, I couldn't even open a 20-ounce soda pop anymore. I now can. And with my breast lift, I'm not going to be able to put my hands above my head for 6 weeks or even lift myself out of a chair. So I've been definitely doing some like leg exercises and thigh exercises and just arms. And so I'm trying to get my muscles in my arms good enough so they don't get too weak over those 6 weeks. But I'm definitely been working out my legs and stuff a lot more, knowing that they're going to be like, that's like my main support for my body. And then the vitamins, that's what I've been preparing with. And then I know a lot of people are like, well, you just had your gastric sleeve. It's been over a year, so that's completely safe. And I have actually been stable with my weight since February. So it does go up about 6 pounds and down 6 pounds, mostly around my period. But I'm going to say that 6 pounds to me is stable. That's stable for me. So yeah. Okay. Next question. Why are you doing it? If you're already gorgeous, Nikki, all your friends see it. They're walk behind you at Monations and you look fabulous in the dress and you're already super hot. Why are you doing it?
I didn't say I'm not pretty, girlfriend. I said I'm chunky. Oh God, I love it. I'm not even gonna lie. I have a lot of people that say, "Oh, you're so pretty," or your butt's so good," or "You're so skinny already." And it's like, you know what? I know that people like mean well, and I know that I am fit, and I know that I am pretty, and I know that like I have a body that a lot of people probably desire. But the thing is like we all have our own insecurities, and I have been working towards my goal for years. Like I will, one of the questions I was going to ask is your spouse supportive? Right. And my husband wasn't really supportive in the beginning when we talked about it. And this was something that I had to tell him, is like, this is something that I'm doing for myself. Like, the things that I want to work on are not things that I can go to the gym and fix. They're not things that I can eat differently and fix. Like, I've had 2 babies. I am 40. I take really good care of myself. And it's just something extra that I want to do for me, and I can do it for me, my body, my choice, and I can afford to do it. So why the hell not? So I am doing it for me.
Exactly. So yes, I have been getting the same thing for the last 6 months. Oh my God, you look so good. You look so great. Okay, yes, I know. I lost 94 pounds and I look amazing. So I'm not a fat girl anymore. But on that note, you guys, like I said in the beginning, my nice little big boobies have now deflated and are hanging down this far from my belly button. No joke. I will be getting more personal and showing you guys my before and afters on my stories, and I'm going to be doing some videos. But another good reason, you guys, I'm just going to show you straight up. Let me just show you. This is not a swollen vagina down here in my pants. That's my stomach. And yes, I can hide it in a couple things and I can do all the things. And you guys might think I look fucking fabulous. But in my pictures, I still see that. And I am not comfortable and I am not happy with it. And I am doing it for myself because I want to love my body. And I got pregnant at 17 and I'd never eaten in front of my boyfriend at the time. And so once I got pregnant, I was like, oh my God, I can eat. You know how high school girls are. And then I double ate and I gained 75 pounds with my first baby. And my second one, I went over 200 pounds. And I've never been littler than that. So I've never really loved my body. I can say I love my boobs. I love my boobs. My boobs are my favorite, you know, but the rest of me has never been anything that I've actually liked. And I'm actually falling in love with some of my pictures this year, but I still can see those little flaws. The extra side boob hanging out in my armpit that I got to tuck in before the photo shoots, the sucking in, the turtleneck, the like all the things, you guys. So I'm not doing this to look better for everybody else. I'm not doing it for all of you guys. I'm sorry. I love you, but you're not that important to me. I'm doing it for myself, for me. That's it. for my own self. Now, my wife has been completely supportive. She was a little bit nervous about me doing the tummy tuck and the boobs at the same time. She kind of thinks that it's a lot to do at one time, and she wanted me to do it in different times. But recovery, you guys, is hell. It's hell. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to nothing. And if I'm going to be put through hell for the first 6 weeks, is going to be real hell, but about 6 months of hell, I don't want to get better and then do it all again. And that's the honest truth. If I'm going to be in the worst pain of my life and suffer, I want to do it all together and all at one time. Now, once I had brought it up and was talking a little bit about my friends, and I was pointed in the direction of the BBL. Once I brought up to my wife, what do you think about me getting a Brazilian butt lift? And she's like, oh, I'm all in it for the butt. She's all about the butt and thighs, but she was a little nervous about the boobs. So I'm just like, so now she's all on board with the procedure. She has been studying, helping me pick out wish pics. Yes, we have scrolled through things and pictures, and we also, like I said, we looked at the beginning, and it was so hard to find any information and find stuff that's going on, that we actually created a Facebook group for just our doctor. So we've actually picked girls on there that are like our height and our size, and like butts and stuff that we kind of like. But you can't really take a picture to the doctor and be like, oh my God, can you make me look like Jessica Simpson and a little bit of Jennifer Lopez like this? No, I'm going to go in there and tell him exactly what I want, which is high perky boobs, the flat stomach. I don't have any hips and an ass. I have some very, very small, thin legs holding this body up. So I do not want to look like an ant booty. I am definitely going to tell him I want it proportioned to my body. And the work that our doctor does, you guys, it's amazing. It's amazing. Not one person does not love the way that they've come out, and Dr. Flavio puts his touch on it, and it just makes it that much better. I honestly don't think he's going to put something out there that's gross because of his own name. Like, I think he does what would look best, and it's just so nice. We could go to another doctor and get like the double Nicki Minaj and like be all but like, I don't, I want that more natural look. So we will definitely be using those words. Let's see.
I have a question. So, do you worry about what people will think about you for doing?
Hell to the no. Okay. So this is one thing I learned a long time ago. When I moved to California, I'm not going to lie. Okay. I was about 220 pounds, and the weather there is hot as hell. And you walk around and you see all these big girls in these tank tops and these tiny shorts and all their shit hanging out. And I'm just like, how can they do that? How can they do that? And it took me till I was about 24 to realize I don't give a fuck what you think. This is me and my body, and I will put on a tight shirt and some tight jeans and go shake it and dance in front of everybody. I really don't live my life for other people. I live it for myself. So no, I really don't care what other people think besides my own family, which I have talked to my wife and my kids and just kind of, reassured them. Do I think people are going to be judging me? Hell yeah. Do I think some of my family member are going to come over to just gawk at me? You betcha. Like, do I think they're going to talk about me behind my back? Probably. Do I give a shit? No. But let me tell you one thing, okay? What you guys are going to see after Wednesday, let's see, the next thing you're going to see for a week or even the next 3 weeks, the beginning of surgery is called swell hell. So when I come out of surgery, you guys are going to be like, oh my God, I thought she said she wasn't going Nicki Minaj. Well, guess what? I'm going to be so bloated full of water and fluids and liquids, and my body is going to be like, what the hell did you just do to me? It's going to be freaking out. My arms are going to be swollen. My legs are going to be swollen. My feet are going to be swollen. My body's going to be swollen. I've had a few friends that have had the tummy tuck. They said the fluid builds up in your stomach and you look like you're pregnant. You better believe I'm going to be sharing that shit with you guys. I'm going to be sharing it all. I'm going to share the swell hell. I'm going to share the hotness, all the snatched body, the whole works. So I personally don't care what anybody else thinks. I am sharing this with everybody, not to brag, but to help other girls. There was so lack of information and so lack of things to know and how to take care of yourself and all of the things. And if I can just help one person do this easier, or one person make the decision of this was a great choice because that's what they've been trying to do and they're too scared. If I can just help somebody with their questions or their answers, or direct them to our group because they need support and they want to join our doctor, whatever, I am sharing this for help 100%. I'm not sharing it to brag. I'm not sharing it to show off. I am sharing because I want to be able to help another doll.
Yeah, that's awesome. It for me, you guys, I feel like it would be very easy for me to be embarrassed or like worried to share my story because I do have a lot of judgment with the way my body is now. And like, I feel like Amanda's story is a little bit more relatable to the fact that she had her gastric sleeve surgery. She lost so much weight. She has so much excess skin that people look at her and they're like, of course you're going to want a tummy tuck. Like, like the natural thing that happens after a gastric surgery is to go in and do like a tummy tuck and all the things. And then people hear that I'm doing it and they're like, but you're so pretty and you're so skinny. And like, that's where all the judgment comes from. So I feel like Amanda doesn't get quite as much judgment as I do for my body type. And you guys, I've worked hard for this body. I've had 2 kids for this body. Like I've been working on this body for 40 years and I am not ashamed one bit. Like just because, you know, that it's not something that I feel like a lot of people talk about. Once we decided to, you know, kind of share our story so early on and talk about it for such a long time, I've had so many people reach out to me and say like, oh, well, I've had work done. And you guys, these people don't say anything because of the fear that they're going to get judged. Like, I'm not ashamed that I'm going to go have work done to my body. I don't know why women are so ashamed to talk about doing things like getting Botox or getting injections or getting any sort of liposuction or getting any sort of work done like this. Like, this doesn't have to be something that's taboo. It doesn't have to be something that you're embarrassed about. And women should just be supporting other women anyways. And I think there's just too many, unfortunately, there's just like too many women that are talking shit about each other behind their backs. And that's just not something that I care about. I don't care what people have to say. Like Amanda says, I'm doing this for myself. My husband was not on board in the beginning because he didn't think I needed it, which bless his heart and love him to death, but he is fully supportive now after having the conversation, expressing to him the real reason why I wanted to do it. And I feel like dudes too, like, you know, he doesn't, you know, want me to change. He doesn't want me to come back a different person. And I'm not changing who I am as a person just because I'm getting a few things tweaked. So
Yeah, I want to add, so another reason that we chose Numi's Recovery House. So I did a lot of research. A lot of the girls say that they get homesick, they're scared, it's just hard being alone, a lot of crying going on in the room. So I actually did a lot of research, you guys, and I got a home that me and Nikki can actually share the room. So they don't have any double rooms in Guadalajara, but they have double rooms in Tijuana. And so I kind of talked to this girl and she's going to make her master bedroom doable for the 2 of us. She actually is putting in a whole nother bed in there. This way, as me and Nikki are having our bad days and crying and things are just not going well, we're able to pick each other up and help each other. So that's another reason that we picked Numi's Recovery House and that they'll do her special diet. So I did want to answer a question here. So how are we going to be doing follow-up appointments when we're back in the US? Okay, so one of the side effects of having surgery in Mexico is We will get our post-op appointment with him before we leave, but we will not be getting post-op appointments after. However, he will be giving us his direct phone number, and we can talk to him through text or do Zoom calls. And he will be talking with us and helping us and prescribe. He can still prescribe medication from Mexico. He's done that for a few girls. Now, so a bunch of the girls in our group, when you have surgery in Mexico and you come here, there's a good chance that your PCs aren't going to help you. A lot of people will not touch you. A lot of surgeons don't want to touch another surgeon's work, and you have to go through the emergency room. Well, there happens to be this girl in town that I know who's having quite some issues with her tummy tuck, and I do know another lady who had a mommy makeover just a month or two ago, and they said that my clinic, well, North Bend Clinic, is available, and I can go in and they will definitely help me out with the walk-in there. But a really good thing is when I went and did my labs, is my doctor already scheduled me for a follow-up appointment. So my doctor is actually already concerned. He asked me a ton of questions, made sure it's completely safe. He also checked on it. He also is going to run his own panel of blood work when I get home from Mexico. He wants to see me in person, which I super love. He told me he would do my aftercare. So he is going to check on me. He's going to make sure my liver functions are working, that all my labs are correct, and that I don't have anything going on. And he said he would 100% take care of my care. So thank you, Dr. Bonkaru. I have one of the most amazing doctors, but yes, that is one of the things coming back that can be a little bit difficult, but I am lucky enough that our walk-in clinic will help me. Our emergency room has wound care, and my doctor has hospital privileges. And I worked for him for 3 years, so I kind of have it in with him. So I think I'm going to be very well taken care of. How
Yeah,
about you?
I actually, so I see a naturopath. So she is not as thrilled probably to do a lot of like my aftercare quite like Amanda is, but she's been very supportive. She ordered all my labs for me. She helped me with all the prescriptions that I needed going into Mexico that my doctor wasn't going to prescribe. I was able to find a massage therapist local to me that is giving me a good deal, which actually now I need to go check the costs and see if it's less or more expensive than the hand and stone massage. And I'm not as worried about it just because I'm not getting as much work done as Amanda is. But I do know my doctor, like, she'll be able to refer me out to anybody that, like, I need to see specifically. So I'm not too terribly worried about my aftercare.
Yeah, another reason we picked Dr. Flavio, once we called to get our quotes, Nikki was told she needed a tummy tuck with her extremely flat stomach. And so a lot of doctors will not do the lipo and BBL without cutting you across the stomach. And she actually does not have to get a tummy tuck. So she's saying the words mommy makeover, but she's only getting the top half of that make. So she is not getting a tummy tuck at all. So she will not be sliced around the belly, part of the belly, any of that. We will just have our liposuction holes and stuff. But yeah, I wasn't really planning on going 50 minutes, you guys, but we had so many questions and all of the things. I'm so glad all you guys jumped on here. Does anybody else have any more questions? You guys can always throw them in the comments also, or DM us. We are an open book. We'll be doing some more lives about packing and all of the things. Make sure we get this uploaded to our YouTube channel. And yeah, like Nikki said, we are going to take you guys on this whole entire journey. So you will probably be seeing us crying Wednesday night. Thursday, I believe, is not going to be any more comfortable. You're going to be seeing my face all wrapped up. Our face is swollen, our ankles as big as our knees. You're going to be seeing it all. So if you don't want to, skip over my page for the next couple of weeks, because I'm going to be getting down and dirty and sharing all the deets, the good, the bad, the ugly, and what can help and what can't help, and what I needed and what I didn't need. So I just super appreciate all the help and all the girls in our group, and that my best friend's going to do this with me makes it so much better. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for your time.
All right. Bye, guys. Have
Hi,
a good
ladies.